brought to you by Farm Credit of Western Arkansas. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
KJ off play action, rolling, looking. Now he's going to have to get rid of the football. Instead, he'll run inside the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Arkansas. KJ Jackson just kept the play alive, runs it in from 12 yards out.
The battle definitely made me a better player. At the end of the day, I had to, show up and come to work because all the quarterbacks in the room are great players. So I think it was truly just competing every day and, being able to bounce back some days that you might have thought you lost today. So you just got to bounce back for those type of days. And I think that's something I'm going to keep in my mind going into the season. I just got on the phone with mom and dad. Those are the people I reached out to. They've been with me, the whole time. And, it's just, a milestone along the way. I still just want to be the best player I can for the guys in the locker room and win games in the fall.
Live from the Bud Light Studios, produced by Christian Johnston,
with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft. This is the Morning Rush.
Well, in your pool at work, if you had the starting quarterback at Arkansas being named 13 days out prior to this upcoming game against North Alabama, you would have won money. I would have had it wrong. You would have had it wrong. Big C, I'm guessing you would have had it wrong.
I would like to know if there are any pools out there that we're tracking when Arkansas's quarterback would be named by the head coach.
A lot of media sessions for Ryan Silverfield this week. Kind of expected that he would announce next Monday, a week from today, the starting quarterback, but done it a little bit early this time, this go around, and I was going back. We got a lot of things to discuss. Obviously, first and foremost, the starting quarterback, for Arkansas this fall is KJ Jackson, the lefty. I was thinking about this, and I should have looked at this. When's the last time you've had a lefty starting quarterback?
Might be Barry Lunny. Now that I think about it, probably Barry Lunny Jr.
There's no one in the 2000s?
Starting quarterback?
Yeah. Even like pre-Matt starting in 2002. There wasn't, I don't remember the 2001
you pretty
season.
much went from Barry to, there was somebody else in between there, but then to Sterner. Sterner kind of into Matt. There were some guys in between, but, quarterbacks of note, I think Lunny might be 30 years ago.
Wild. Think about a
little more than 30 years
southpaw.
ago.
So that's the setup for this upcoming season. Plenty of thoughts to get to here throughout the show. No guest today. Did that intentionally. I know there's thoughts about this, the baseball reseating. There's a lot of stuff that happened over the weekend that we can get into as well. But just you, Tommy, Big C, and myself this morning.
We kind of got two A topics here today. Normally the news of the day, it's pretty easy to decide what we start the show with. Now Friday in a late afternoon news dump, they announced the baseball reseating, and I'll be honest that the announcement, you're talking about the mythical office pools on the quarterback being named. I didn't think he was going to announce it until, like you said, the week of the game when the depth chart came out. As dug in as Ryan Silverfield seemed to be, this did come a little bit of a surprise to me to make the announcement. Not a surprise decision, not a surprise announcement, just a surprise on the timing of it all. A little bit of a surprise. Hey, glad you're here this morning, listening on ESPN Arkansas. Great radio stations around the state. Also, the Hit That Line Now app is powered by Taco Bell. Whether you're craving something cheesy, saucy, or crunchy, Taco Bell has you covered. Take it anywhere you go. The Hit That Line Now app, powered by Taco Bell.
Going to hear from KJ, as you just heard in our open that Big C put together throughout the morning, Ryan Silverfield's thoughts and kind of why he named KJ Jackson the starter based on some of the stuff that they've gone through thus far. John Gruden was back in the broadcasting booth with Bucks Hall of Famer Rondé Barber. We'll get into some of that. Todd Monken had some things to say about a departed Cleveland Browns player, plus Taylon Green, who's battling for a backup quarterback role with that organization. We have our Thick Burger Contest winner from over the weekend that we're going to get into. There is a new world's oldest living person that we can discuss. Some Razorbacks in the National Football League that have some headlines, good and bad, plus a few other notes from the SEC that will all tie in to get to this morning. So starting with Ryan Silverfield, here is what he said. I think this was his kind of opening statement. 3 seconds in, he's talking about KJ Jackson in his press conference.
We just made the announcement that KJ Jackson will be our starting quarterback. I'm excited about him and his role as QB1 with the future of our program. He's done an excellent job. So has A.J. Hill and all of our quarterbacks leading up to today in that decision. It wasn't an easy decision, but a very confident one we made as a staff. All right, and it wasn't because of lack of talent by the others. It was a great mix of guys competing for that starting role. So very, very confident moving forward with him as our starter.
Again, a little bit earlier than maybe we anticipated, but you knew this was coming. This is no surprise to anyone listening. Everyone's been talking about this for weeks now. This was the expected result for this battle. The hope is not only from an injury standpoint, that KJ doesn't sustain an injury like every single Arkansas starting quarterback since 2016. I've got some stats that we can get into coming up about that. But you don't want to flip-flop. Like, think about how you felt during the Missouri game last year, where they did a combo of KJ and Talon. It was just a weird deal. You don't want really any of that. You want A.J. Hill to play in the North Alabama game when they're blowing those guys out. And that's about it. And that's nothing against A.J. Hill. But how many quarterback 1-2 combos outside of Chris Leak and Tim Tebow can you name that's worked? You don't want to see.
Well, but that wasn't even that deal. I mean, that was a whole different. I mean, Tebow came in to run specific packages.
Yes, but you really, for the most part, don't want to see 2 quarterbacks on the field outside of a blowout.
Sure.
In game number 1, or obviously if the game gets lopsided, which there are some games this fall that could. You might get him some reps. You really don't want to see A.J. Hill outside of week 1 against North Alabama.
Well, of course.
Or Tulsa, maybe Tulsa.
You know, of course. Because you're saying the obvious. That means the odds of Arkansas blowing out an SEC opponent to the point that you can send in your scrubs for mop-up duty doesn't seem like a likely outcome right now. And the other side of it does seem more likely. So I think what you're saying is you want to avoid just getting beat by 6 or 7 touchdowns and you got your third and fourth string in. But at the same time, I don't know how much you get into. I mean, all the heavy lifting for the season is going to be done in the next few weeks. Physical practices, 2s getting significant reps, 3s getting significant reps. How many significant game-changing, depth chart-changing reps could A.J. get over the next 30 days to change the equation? It's not going to happen. Obviously, Ryan Silverfield felt like his team needed this message, that the fan base needed this message. There was some calculation into why I don't want to say reverse course, but he gave you no indication this was coming this early. The timing of this might be a week or 10 days early, considering we're, 12 days out from the game?
Yes.
I thought maybe that first depth chart and the media notes and the things that come out the week of the first game might be where we learn, who it's going to be, even though it's kind of the answer we already know. But he has a reason for it. He talked about it in the press conference, and he probably feels like right now is the time for his team to rally around one guy, make him the leader of this team, make that voice have more weight, make his words have more leadership quality to it and more command of that huddle as we're inside 2 weeks to go to the first game.
And if you're KJ Jackson, not that you didn't have confidence before because you probably felt like you're going to win the job, but the fact that he did announce it, at least from our vantage point earlier, has to give you even more of a boost mentally. You have to think now, not that you lax off or anything like that. Like, you still go to the max. You still give everything you have here in these next 12 days, and obviously every day during the actual season. But that's a coach's boost in yourself, and hopefully he takes advantage of that, because quarterback is one of the bigger question marks you have on this football team, and you just hope that those rankings that you continuously see from whatever source, from whatever outlet, are not accurate when it comes to KJ this fall.
Yeah. Hey, looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? The Fence Man has that for you. 782-3936. And if you need a residential fence around your home, they can get to you in just a couple of weeks right now with the Fence Man. 782-3936. Whether it's chain link, wood privacy fencing, vinyl privacy fencing, wrought iron installations, or their all-new aluminum products, you can get a 10% discount up to $500 when you sign up now and tell them you heard it here on the Morning Rush. Rush. 782-3936. See what I'm talking about and examples of their work online. TheFencemanAR.com. The Fenceman. He ain't afraid of no work.
Big-time football topic is never going to be outdone by a baseball topic. But I will say this generated a lot of conversation talking about the baseball reseeding that came out in a late news dump on Friday, which, you tell me if I'm wrong on this, typically you do that when you want to release what's going to be considered non-positive news. Yeah. Is that fair? I think most outlets, most PR, when they dump something,
I don't think we're exposing a well-held secret.
I'm just verifying that, right? That's not a bad take.
There's a reason Washington invented this. That you put bad news out Friday at 5, where it's too late for the 5 or 6 o'clock news.
And they did it about like 3 o'clock. I'm frankly surprised I didn't see it later in the news cycle of the day. But just thinking about some of the talk about Dave Van Horn's raise, Bobby Warnes's raise. Obviously, there's been a large investment within the baseball program, and you think about the atmosphere of Baum-Walker Stadium, which has been great. Dave's commented on that, and it also has delivered big-time moments like this.
That was a really good crowd for Thursday. I've seen some Thursday crowds around the league that haven't been real good. The game's been really good. It's competition. But, people have to get up and go to work. There's a lot of stuff going on. Our fans really showed up today, and I'm sure they looked good on TV. They looked great from the dugout.
This is the opening drive.
A comprehensive reseeding process. Did this 5 years ago in 21. You've had football and baseball or basketball as well. Now you've got one prior to this upcoming season. Your initial thoughts?
You've asked a lot of people to give $40,000 to have great basketball seats. It qualifies them for better seats at Baum-Walker. Can't get to them. So I think reseeding should be done in baseball and basketball on a 4-year cycle regardless. So I think we ought to do a reseeding, a master reseeding of all 3 major facilities.
Okay.
On a 4-year basis. Because it's not equitable to ask somebody to step up to the next level of donations, and they're willing to do it, and then they can't get the seats. I hate it for the fans that have bought those seats and been in them for 20 years. It stinks. I mean, I think sometimes we leave behind the people that help get us to where we're at. But it's an unfortunate part of the college baseball, college basketball, and college football world we live in, where money drives everything now. It's not going backwards. But how would you like to? All right, I want great seats for basketball, and I give that money, and there's no place for me to get seats in the section I qualify for. Well, how about baseball? Can I sit behind home plate? Well, I'm sorry, there's none available yet. You've got to do these things in order, or you dry up your fundraising, you dry up the donations. But I think the byproduct of it is unfortunate in what happens to some. But I think at the same time, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Hey, give me $40,000, but there's no place for you to sit in a premium seat.
So, and I don't want to minimize the complexities of all the people that have donated for a number of years. I think. So baseball, you think about the 12 College World Series and the consistent success, and a lot of it since 1970. You had a stint nearly 20 years in basketball where the team sucked, and yet people still donated and whatnot. People have donated for baseball for a number of different years, and they've been consistently good and consistently that. I really felt for those basketball fans when you basically sat through crap for nearly 2 decades and still put up the money, still went to the games, still did all this stuff, and do that. And again, I don't want to minimize the feeling I have towards baseball, but I think I'm a little more understandable of the anger of the basketball fans than it felt. Like, the congratulatories came out last week when Dave got his new contract, and there wasn't a non-positive take. And I thought to myself, because I got a text, I was telling Zach this on Friday, I got a text earlier before DVH things came out. It's like there are rumblings and rumors about this reseeding deal. And I didn't have enough verifiable information to go to air at that point. I didn't want to jump the gun and it not be true. But someone who has access to certain tidbits of information shared this with me. And so I did wonder, following the Dave Van Horn news, how quickly, if this was to come out, did. And it came out, again, less than a week later.
You could see the handwriting on the wall. The other shoe was going to drop. You couldn't invest another $500,000, which isn't a big deal in some sports, but it's a big deal in baseball.
Yes.
$500,000 is a lot of money in outside of football and basketball that has to come from somewhere, because it can no longer just be siphoned off the football program. But I think they ought to do campus-wide reseating for athletic venues on a regular basis. That way it doesn't catch anyone off by surprise. Every fourth year, just do it.
According to Whole Hog Sports, Hunter Yurchek said moving forward, all three of these sports are going to be reseeded every 5 years. So one more additional year than what you saw or what you said is in.
And that's fine.
In 4.
4. But here, it shouldn't be done only when the teams are good. If you're going to continue to ask people to donate, or they're, because here's the thing that, the dirty little secret, when you start making donations to the foundation, you can't ever go backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Go backwards, you lose it all. And that's the difficult part. Hey, I had a good year. Our company had a good year. I'd like to give an extra $5,000 this year. Well, once you start doing that and you step up in that next class and you get those priority points and you get the things that matter, well, hey, things are a little tight and a little lean. Well, you can't cut back and without losing it all. So it's a difficult spot, but I understand both sides of it. It would be like someone having the money and paying for prime ads on the show. Hey, you're going to pay for them, and when one opens up, we'll let you have it. Mm-hmm. Well, wait, I'm paying for it. We need to deliver it, right? Well, it's the same thing. There's a finite number of seats behind home plate. There's a finite number of seats at mid-quarter, the 50-yard line. And you're in a good situation where you got more people giving $40,000 or more that qualify for your highest level of seating.
Can we define that 40,000 or more?
Well, that's the new Platinum Broyles Matthews or whatever.
Let me rephrase that.
Okay.
I would like to, and I don't know this offhand, I would like to know how many of those are actual people versus corporations, because there's a big difference, and the corporations have more money to spend in the $40,000. But I think one of the things that frustrates me and frustrates everything else, whether it's in Bud Walton, and I know you're not going to fill up Razorback Stadium anytime soon in football, or Baum-Walker, is when you see seats empty. And I'm not talking about like a Tuesday afternoon game against a Sister of the Poor school. I'm not talking about an early non-conference game in Bud Walton where it's a weird Tuesday night and you're still maybe in the midst of football season. I'm talking about these marquee games that people would be at if they could afford to be. And yet you see in these various facilities empty seats. And that shouldn't be the case. And
I agree.
Again, what we always do on this show, it's that we're not going to take a cut of anyone's. If you ever have seats that you just want to give away, you can call us. Big C will answer the phone here in the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Those tickets will be gone in 30 seconds. And it's not that much of a hassle like it used to be when you had to physically give someone parking passes, which you have to do, I guess. But the ticket aspect, you just text someone or email one a ticket nowadays.
So we assume those are corporations in those empty seats. We don't know that. Maybe that's a good assumption. But they're still people.
Fair.
Well, they're still people, though. I mean, who make up companies? Is this company we work for made up of documents, or is it made up of people?
People, yes.
Okay. Well, I don't think it's any different. I mean, but there's just more companies in Northwest Arkansas that have the budget or have the wherewithal to give $40,000 and know that, hey, I can do that on an ongoing annual basis. And they've defined, they being the foundation and the athletic department, hey, this level of donation gets you this many seats for football in these sections. Basketball, same thing. Baseball, same thing. Yeah, I think it's unfortunate when those seats go unused. But I think we're also making somewhat of an assumption that they're all corporate seats.
And that's fair, but
so I don't think that's
is it also, again, I'm not saying it's factual, but is it at least fair to assume in those situations that those are more likely to be corporate seats who in some cases, and some they are Razorback fans. I know plenty of bigwigs, CEOs, managers, owners that are diehard Razorback fans. I don't want to section them off because you own a business or you've done really well in life. But there is a difference between a tax write-off for a certain business versus a Razorback fan. It doesn't matter what part of the state that you live in that would love to go to the games and pay the amount, but they can't go. Is that at least fair?
That's fair. But let's just imagine this for a minute. Ty Richardson decides he's going to write a check this year for $10,000 because he wants really good seats at basketball games.
I put that towards the radio booth.
You're a big basketball guy and you want to have good seats.
Okay.
They tell you at the foundation for $10,000 we can get you lower level, not on the side of the court, but we can get you in the corner. I'm just making this up, but because I know that 40,000, it's going to take more than 10 to sit on the sideline.
Okay.
And you settle into your new seats that you've saved, you've worked your tail off to get there, right?
Okay.
Sit down next to the guy next to you, and you find out he's giving $5. Now how you feel?
Is he a Razorback fan?
But he's giving half what you're giving to sit next to you.
Life's not fair. That's a story.
BS.
That's a story
BS.
I've heard. That is a phrase I've heard
BS
from my father
on how you would react
for 31 years.
Well, your father's
Life's not
correct,
fair.
but that's not how you would react.
He's a Razorback fan.
He gave half what you gave. You're going to be mad.
He's still a Razorback
I would
fan.
be mad.
But you qualified for better seats. But someone giving less was sitting in them.
Life's not fair sometimes.
Yeah, you'd be going crazy. You'd be going nuts.
Yeah. I'm frankly
and that's what they're trying to avoid. What this does is open up the opportunity for people that can give to get seats.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to give if I can't get seats.
Okay. All right, we can open this up throughout the morning. Got an hour and 40 minutes left to discuss that and more. Hog updates coming up. Mike Washington might get a little more playing time this year for the Raiders. We'll tell you why next.
Call or text the Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
We've got big news from Roback. This entire week, Roback is launching its brand new collegiate collection, just in time for the fall season. And if you're an Arkansas fan, you're in luck. The Arkansas collection officially dropped, and there's plenty of inventory available. So whether you're headed to the stadium, watching from home, or just looking to upgrade your game day gear, now's the time to check out Roback's new Arkansas Collegiate Collection. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
I got one question for you. What are those?
It's cute.
I wish I could get it, but...
How much you pay for that taco?
Hey, yo, you know this, boy. He's got his free taco.
Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Want to kick off the football season with a bet that feels like a lock? The MyBookie lock of the season is back. With the Patriots in Seattle for the NFL kickoff, the question is simple. Will the Seahawks raise their championship banner that night? Of course they will. They're the defending champs. It's their home opener, and you're getting plus money odds just to say yes. Get in before kickoff, sign up at MyBookie, use promo code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and start your season with a win. MyBookie. Bet on anything, anytime, anywhere.
Got a little jingle.
Gastons.com. Gastons, a first-class time, every time.
Kenny here to help you ignite your taste buds with Firework Freeze 5-Hour Energy Shots. Juicy cherry, citrus lime, and blue raspberry. It's that iconic freezer pop flavor, but with none of the guilty sugar aftermath. The perfect summer kick. It's a delicious, portable, zero-sugar energy shot bursting with flavor. Bring on summer with Firework Freeze 5-Hour Energy Shots. Available online at 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about. A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Darren McFadden goes 73 yards. And
has a wide open man. It's Childs. He's loose. He scores. Childs, please.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
ARKNSAS. This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush.
And that dude's smart as heck. To go out there and function, we hardly give him any reps. I love that dude. It's just hard. You got 4 guys. It's hard to give them all reps. We got him on the perimeter one time, which is what you got to do down there in the red zone. But all he does is work, smile on his face. I mean, I'm happy we got him. We just hard to fit him in, you know, with the reps, with the rep count.
It's Browns head coach Todd Monken talking about Taylon Green, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, and Deshaun Watson, who's just named starting quarterback this morning for the Cleveland Browns. Heard some positive things about Taylon throughout the offseason. Don't know what that looks like from a roster situation standpoint because NFL teams don't ever keep 4 quarterbacks on a roster.
No,
Three's
the max. Yeah, number 3's going to the practice squad is what number 3's generally doing, usually. So, if you're number 4, probably going to get waived at some point.
Yeah, so don't know what his what his situation looks like in the NFL, but a lot of positive things said about him thus far in the offseason. There's a lot of positives about Mike Washington, who's the highest graded running back in the preseason according to Pro Football Focus. Ashton Jeanty had a leg injury yesterday at practice and was helped off the field. Couldn't put pressure on his right leg. Don't ever root for injuries. Never do it in fantasy. Don't do it for opposing teams. But in this situation,
However,
Mike might get some more carries initially, depending on what the diagnosis is for Genty.
We're getting close, getting down to rosters being set, so final cuts being made. So timing of injuries is everything in the NFL.
Big C, you put this in there. I hadn't seen the Jaquinton Jackson injury, another former Arkansas running back. He's on the Eagles. It was a kickoff play, and he had to be helped off the field in an ambulance, unfortunately.
Never want to see that. Hopefully he recovers and gets back out there.
All right, we'll continue to talk about this KJ Jackson, AJ Hill, the dynamic there with KJ being named the starting quarterback, and also jump back into the reseeding as well throughout the morning.
All right, that's the Hog Update brought to you by WT Equipment. Summer may be winding down soon, but mowing season definitely is not. And if your mower is struggling to keep up, now is a great time to check out the Hustler zero-turn mowers at WT Equipment. Hustler mowers are built for speed, comfort, and an incredible cut, so you can spend less time mowing and more time enjoying the weekends. And right now, qualifying models with 0% financing and 48 months of financing are available at WT Equipment, making it a great time to upgrade. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment location in Springdale, Rogers, Berryville, or Searcy, and visit them online at WTEquip.com to find the Hustler mower that's right for you. That's WT Equip at WTEquip.com for WT Equipment.
All right, let's go to Greenland, home of the Pirates. Welcome in Lee, who's phoned in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Lee, I understand you have some thoughts on this baseball reseeding.
Yeah, how are you guys doing? I'm a retired football coach here at Greenland.
I thought that's who this was.
Since 2004.
Yeah.
I got those seats when they were still the berm. The day they said we're going to build new, I went to the office and bought them, and I've sat there every year. I get it. They need more money. No, without a doubt. How come they can't just say, hey, Lee, if you want to keep these seats, you got to up your money. Or if not, somebody else is going to get them instead of reseating. And to me, that gives me the chance.
Yeah.
And I can either pay up or I can't.
Coach, I think you can. I think that is part of the process. I don't think you're just automatically booted out.
It says reseating. You will not get to keep your seat.
Well, you may not be the same seat. You won't go from 2 seats or 4 seats to 0 seats is what I'm saying.
Correct.
Right.
I sit on row A. I have great seats. Section 116, 1 through 4, row A. I'm there every game. I read a book. I sit there and watch the game. And, okay, so now I'm going to be in 117 in the middle of a row? Come on.
I hear you. Yeah.
So why not just give me the chance to pay $5,000 instead of the whatever I'm paying? And back to your Bud Walton corner seats, $10,000 versus $5,000. My $5,000 for the last 20 years is more than his $10,000 for 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right?
Over time, yes.
So
but coach, we both know we're in a "what have you done for me lately" world now.
Oh, I got it. And what has at some point you can't keep crapping on the fans. At some point they're going to run out of money. That's just the way it is. I can afford to go up a little, but I'm an old man now. I do not play golf. I do not fish. I go to Razorback baseball. My answer is I also have Razorback season football tickets. They're done. I will never buy another Razorback football ticket because I want my money to go to baseball. But if they stick me in the middle of the crowd in a crappy spot, I'm done with that too.
So
I'm sure I'm not the only one, and they don't care.
Lee, when you asked them the question, I would just verbatim ask, what will it take from a donation standpoint for me to keep these exact same seats? You said you've asked that question, or you haven't?
Oh, I will. Friday afternoon, when the chicken crap email came out, and at the end of the day, I called immediately. Poor girl went to the phone. I felt for her. They passed me up the road. They basically can't tell you anything, but I do have an appointment tomorrow at 2:30. So I will have a list of questions, and I will be prepared. And I realize I'm coming from a position of a relatively poor guy, so I don't have any voice. But also, this has made me sick.
Yeah, Coach, thanks for the
I love Razorback baseball.
Give us some feedback.
I can hear it. I
give us some
appreciate
feedback
that.
on Wednesday.
Yeah, call us back. I want to know how that appointment goes. Absolutely.
All right, we'll get into our Morning Rush Daily question coming up. If you've got some thoughts like Coach did, you can jump in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. The Morning Rush continues on a Hot Take Monday next.
Call or text the Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
For 60 minutes.
This is the Morning Rush.
Oh, Mississippi, she's calling my name.
At United Federal Credit Union, our checking accounts meet you where you are. Free checking gives you everything you need with no strings attached. Safe Spend lets you set debit card limits for...
I'm Tim Shepard. I'm running for Washington County Judge. People come to Washington County for a reason, to raise a family, build a future, and enjoy the beauty of a place we call home. No matter how long you've lived here, we all want the same things: safe communities, responsible growth, and leaders who get things done. I'm Tim Shepard, and I'll work every day to keep Washington County the best place to live, work, raise a family, and call home. I'd appreciate your vote November 3rd.
Paid for by the committee to elect Tim Shepard, Washington County Judge.
I'm Wendy Howerton, and I'm running for Circuit Judge here in Washington-Madison County. I've been practicing here for 20 years, representing people just like you, and every day matters.
It's going to be justice for all. Everyone there is going to have a voice, and all those people who don't have a voice, they're going to have one in my courts. And I'm going to apply the law evenly, impartially, like it should be.
I'm here to protect all your constitutional rights, because they've never been more important than they are now.
Paid for by the Howerton campaign.
That's 479-782-3486.
Or if you can't get to Fayetteville, you can check us out on the Googleator at shoponrazorback.com.
Dad, you actually got most of that right. How'd you do that?
Well, if you're going to do the dad joke, then I need to step up my Googleator knowledge.
There's no hope for you, is there? Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
We even pumped up the crowd noise. I think we got a noise complaint last night at 10:30 at night to test out our new speakers.
This is the Morning Rush.
Get state sales tax paid when you trade all this month at Rath Auto Resources. Just bring in your old car and make the switch to any one of our great road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles and get state sales tax paid when you trade. Our road-ready certified vehicles are inspected, reconditioned, and backed by comprehensive warranty. Combine that with our non-commissioned sales team and the nation's best lenders on standby, and you've got an award-winning, hassle-free way to get your next ride. Make the switch to road-ready certified and get state sales tax paid when you trade all this month at Rath Auto Resources. 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
The best Tex-Mex and even better service is at Joe's Grill and Cantina in Fort Smith. Every day, Joe's Grill makes fresh from scratch salsas, queso dip, and guacamole with crispy warm chips to start your meal. Plus fajitas, enchiladas, tacos, burritos, and more that will make your experience one you won't forget. Great Tex-Mex and even better service. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning. Is your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore? Dr. Bo Sparkman at Valley Family Dental Practice, Fort Smith, can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today, 226-3500. Get rid of your CPAP with Valley Family Dental at Riley Farm in Fort Smith and Roland, Oklahoma.
Wheeler Power Sports is proud to be the local factory authorized dealer for raw electric dirt bikes. Just charge it up and head out to your local trail, track, fishing spot, or to scout for the new deer season. The possibilities are endless, and so is this power. Instant torque at the twist of the throttle, ready to go full throttle without the noise? Get your hands on a RAR E dirt bike today at Wheeler Power Sports. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Chris Canny here. Football season is back, and Lids has you covered. Just in time for kickoff. Want the latest headwear to rep your team at the tailgate, at the barbecue, or at the game? Shop the 47 brand NFL collection. Exclusively in store at your local Lids. This collection puts a new spin on retro NFL gear. Lids has every fan covered with all 32 teams, featuring the big time hits and alternate team logos. You'll find the perfect fit for every Sunday. Selection may vary by store.
Summer is here and adventure is calling. Visit Southern Tire Mart for a new set of Yokohama tires to get your vehicle ready for summer travels. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let Southern Tire Mart ensure your vehicle is ready for the open road. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpathsocial.com.
I'd say based on the feedback we've received from the phones and the Lewis Automotive Group text line as well this morning, I'd say 80 to 90% of you are highly against this baseball reseating. So if reseating the stadium is not the answer, what is the answer to the problem? How would you advise the university, Hunter Yurachek, Ryan White at the foundation, hey, keep us competitive, fund the program where we can win games, but I want to keep my seats? What is the answer if reseating is not the answer?
Well, in the story that Matt Jones wrote for Whole Hog this morning, this is supposed to raise, I think it was $1.5 million in new funds. The basketball reseating raised over $10 million. It's either 10.8 or 10.3.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you're trying to raise money and continue to do that.
We don't like it. So if we don't like this, what's a better solution? That's the question.
I think what Coach said there, if you missed Coach Ali from Greenwood in our last segment, if I was in their shoes, if I was in Ryan White's shoes and Hunter Yurachek and he went over to the foundation, every single baseball season ticket holder, I would call every single one of them, not an email, make it personal. I don't care if Z's talking, Quinn's talking, who it is. Call every single one of them. It's like, this is the goal. If you want to keep your seat, this is what you have to spend. Now, again, you're still going to ruffle some feathers. You're still going to tick people off. But they at least know it's like, okay, this is what I have to do. Is this still worth it to me financially? Or is it not?
They get the better choice.
That's what I would do. Because the reseating, as Coach Lee put it, implies that even if I raise my donations, I'm still going to get moved. Like in the basketball one. Let's go back to the basketball.
I'm not sure that's entirely correct.
But that is the appearance. Because what you're saying is probably accurate. It's not might be entirely correct. But I think about the numerous people that we talked to, whether they were upper deck, lower deck, wherever in Bud Walton Arena, we didn't field many people on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline that got to stay in their exact seat. They got to stay in the arena, but they moved. And that would be my approach from that standpoint.
So you call me. You're with the foundation. You're Ryan White. You're Hunter Yurachek.
Okay.
You call me. Hey, Mr. Kraft, you've had these seats for 16 seasons.
You need to give more.
We'd like you to up your donation to keep your seats by $5,000. And I say to you, what if I give 10? Now what are you going to do?
What are you going to do for me?
Well, yeah, because if I'm going to give you double, all right. Hey, I've had some good things happen. My business has flourished. Okay. Whatever. You want 5,000 more? Okay, I'll give you 10,000 more. But here's where I want to sit. Now what? Who you kicking out of their seats?
Well, I think
because how can you run a business that won't take more money?
No, you're right. You're right. Here's how it's framed. All right. So Mr. Kraft, we have to go through this process where we have to figure out who is going to, because they have the dates put out. The deadline is the 2nd. The 27th is when the seat selection appointments come out, and then the 3rd is when they begin.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Kraft, you'll get your appointment come the 27th. The seat selection will begin on the 3rd. you have the ability to re-up your tickets right now for the additional, as you said, like the $5,000. If you want to wait, because there will be some, Mr. Kraft, that do not re-up their tickets in better positions because they don't think it's cost-effective enough or it's worth it. If you can wait till this point, then you'll have the opportunity.
I can't wait. I need to know now.
Well, we don't have the opportunity to tell you right now because of the schedule we've laid out.
But these are the things we
No,
all
it's not-
we all
it's-
think. But my point is, we all think that everybody wants to stay in their own seat.
It's not an exact
How
science.
about the guy that's out there that doesn't have seats at all, but he's willing to give $40,000? Where am I going to put him?
Again, there is no easy way.
No, it's painful
to tell someone that despite, as what did he say, 16 years?
Yeah.
That he'd been sitting. There's no easy way to tell
No,
someone.
he had been there since 04. He'd been there over
Okay,
20
so
years.
over 20 years. And you think about not just you know, when you think about a mortgage in a house, like the equity you build up over time because it accrues year after year after year. Well, the same is logic, I think, applies with Razorback fans. It's like, man, I've been in these seats since Bud Walton opened in 1993 prior to the national championship. I've been in these seats in Baum-Walker since baseball really became a thing in 2004. And so in their mind, like in some people, they've spent $50,000, $60,000, $70,000.
But just like a home, you mentioned a good analogy there with a home. What happens if your neighborhood goes into decline to your equity? What if your neighbors don't keep their house up? All the houses in your neighborhood turn into renters and they're parking cars in the front yard. What happens to the equity in your home at no fault of yours? Declines, right?
And your property taxes go down, right?
No,
Supposedly.
negative. The property taxes never go down, Ty. But what happens if your neighborhood flourishes? New subdivision comes in 2 blocks over. All the yards are manicured. Everything looks great in your neighborhood. What happens to your equity? Well, it increases twofold or whatever. It goes up, right? Well, that's what's happened here. The baseball team's got the manicured yard. They got the wrought iron fences.
Yes.
They've got the little pool house out behind, and the guy over here, he's got the little outdoor kitchen area. There's no cars in the front yard on blocks.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the neighborhood baseball's in, and they want to stay in. And at no fault of your own, you're going to have to pay more to stay in that neighborhood. And what you've paid year after year, season after season, unfortunately, you don't get to build equity in your seats. You get priority points. You get points with the foundation, but that's about it. And it gives you an inside lane to seats and road trips and things that, you earn based on your giving over time.
All right, that is your Car Pass Social Morning Rush Daily question. Really, it's a question we're answering and talking about throughout the morning, the thoughts on reseating with baseball. We'll come back to KJ and AJ in just a bit. Car Pass Social, place that you can play indoor golf, one of over 1,000 different golf courses. It's 68 degrees inside, despite it being 90 or 100 plus outside. This is an awesome facility. Christian and Nate have put together over 2 years now. You can do corporate events. You can do birthday parties. You can do friends and family gathering. It doesn't matter. And they've got their summer league. They've been having their summer leagues going on. They've got about 1 month and a week more of summer memberships that you can take advantage of for unlimited golf. So if you want one more month, you can do so. CartPassSocial.com. It's always BYOB at Cart Social. Let's go to Bentonville and welcome in Rob. He's got some thoughts. He had some thoughts. He no longer has thoughts, apparently. Again, Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. I did see, keeping the reseating conversation going, Nebraska Volleyball, which is the premier volleyball program in all of college, had reseating for volleyball. I just typed in reseating. And there's other reseating, like Florida's building that $1 billion stadium. There's going to be reseating.
We didn't invent it here.
No. And it frustrates the Cornhusker fan base. It frustrates the Gator fan base and anyone else that has to go through this process.
But we ought to be happy we're paying more, because when's the last time we had a reseating in football? I mean, football driven.
This past one.
I mean,
this past one.
We have but not based on success. What's reseating programs always based on?
Success.
Winning. We've not had one that's been led by football. We had one led by basketball that forced some things in football, but we've never had one that, hey, football team's winning, need you to up your donation. We ain't had one of those since Petrino was here.
Well, they had they did have a reseating in football.
But it wasn't driven by what's being driven in baseball and basketball. We didn't have one for years in basketball till you started winning again. But there's going to come a point where and here's what's going to make some people mad. I've been given $40,000 for 5 years. Well, now it's 50, or now it's 60, or now it's 100 to sit on the 50-yard line, to sit at midcourt. And you know why that is? Because we got enough people lined up that are willing to do that. That's what is the right business move. It's painful. It stinks because I can't write that check. So I have to figure out where else I'm going to sit. I don't like the seats. I had great seats at Bud Walton. I kept them on the sideline, but I had to go all the way near the top of the arena to keep a sideline view. Don't like them nearly as well. Guess what? I went to fewer games this year, even though the team was really good.
Well,
and that's part of. Now, does anyone up there care? Probably not.
Yes. I think that's also, you bring up a point, like you said I made a good point about the house. I think that's also important. So I'm going to be honest, offhand, I don't know the SEC opponents that are coming into Baum-Walker Stadium, but I think one of the other frustrations with people about the Bud Walton reseating is that your 5 marquee non-cons, and by the way, Kentucky's in Rupp this year, they ain't in Bud Walton Arena. So you're not only paying an excess amount of money, and this is a Cal theme with NIL, and I understand the rationale reasoning behind doing it. I know Michigan State's coming in here next year. I think Arizona's coming in here next year, and he's talked about that the marquee home schedule is going to be this next season. But I understand also fans' frustration where not only are you getting like more money that is taken away from you in order to sit in your seats, but a lot of these marquee events are not in your home arena facilities.
And why is that?
Because of the NIL facet, because of the raising money. And again,
if the fans can't give all the money for NIL, we got to go get it somewhere else, right? So you do that by playing these neutral site marquee games to raise money for NIL.
But it's also frustrating. I know they've got the fall event coming up that the Diamond Alliance thing that we mentioned, which is not part of your season ticket package, and you'll have some marquee SEC opponents that come in here. I don't know. They'll go to Globe Life in February, and you'll have really good SEC baseball that will be showcased at Bud Walton Arena. But that's another part of this whole thing is that you're asking, and that was the whole debate about Little Rock and Dallas. Like, you're asking fans to re-up their money or spend all this money. Then why are we playing a game of War Memorial? Why are we playing a game in Jerry World? Well, there's contracts and everything else. But that's another part of this whole debate is why are we not having some of the premier events in our home with us paying? And
that's
again,
fair.
It's not a conversation, or it's a conversation that's being had elsewhere as well. This is not just a Fayetteville zoom in, go through the Bobby Hopper Tunnel. It's just happening on campus here in Arkansas. But it is another reason fans are staying home and watching the games on television or listening across our ESPN Arkansas radio stations relative to all those years they spent going to the games themselves.
Man, we had a great time Saturday at Hardee's in Fort Smith. Gave away the football trip of a lifetime. Had the high school version of that we did just before. The Alma Airedales were the winner in the high school division. And
Matthias Kramis, linebacker.
Yeah, and Teddy was our winner of the trip to Vegas.
Yes, he was. Congratulations to Alma, who what's the last
What's
time
Teddy's last name? I didn't have it written down.
Gosh.
De La Cruz.
Teddy De La Cruz.
Thank you. So congratulations to Teddy, and congratulations to Coach Burns and Matthias Kramis, who took it home for Alma, which was a lot of fun. We do it every year. 21 of these.
There.
Yeah, big crowd. 21 of these we've done. Appreciate Dwayne and all his team being a part of another successful football trip of a lifetime with Hardee's. Hour 2, back to KJ and AJ. Starting quarterback 1, next.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fifth Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Attention skilled craftsmen, Bath Makeover of Arkansas is hiring only the best that the natural state has to offer. If you're ready for your next big opportunity to have steady work and better pay, Bath Makeover of Arkansas is ready to talk to you. Bath Makeover is looking for plumbers, electricians, bathroom installers, and project managers to help us keep up with high demand. Bath Makeover is growing our commercial division as well, with the ability to now install over 100 bathrooms a month. Bath Makeover can knock out multi-unit projects quickly, easily 10 bathrooms at a time in a single week at hotels, apartments, and government housing all across Arkansas. Bath Makeover of Arkansas is looking for only experienced and qualified skilled craftsmen to join our talented team. To learn more about the job opportunities at Bath Makeover of Arkansas, visit bathmakeoverar.com. That's bathmakeoverar.com. Plumbers, electricians, bathroom installers, and project managers, visit bathmakeoverar.com. That's bathmakeoverar.com.
At United Federal Credit Union, our checking accounts meet you where you are. Free checking gives you everything you need with no strings attached. Safe Spend lets you set debit card limits for the whole family. And Ultra Checking rewards higher balances. Plus, our digital banking and mobile app let you manage it all in one place. Visit unitedfcu.com/checking to get started. United Federal Credit Union. We get you. Insured by NCUA. Membership subject to eligibility. Free checking with e-documents. A $2.50 fee applies for each paper statement if you are not enrolled in e-documents.
This is the Morning Rush.
Get state sales tax paid when you trade all this month at Rath Auto Resources. Just bring in your old car and make the switch to any one of our great road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles and get state sales tax paid when you trade. Our road-ready certified vehicles are inspected, reconditioned, and backed by a comprehensive warranty. Combine that with our non-commissioned sales team and the nation's best lenders on standby, and you've got an award-winning, hassle-free way to get your next ride. Make the switch to road-ready certified and get state sales tax paid when you trade all this month at Rath Auto Resources. 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
Taco Bell's new $3 melty pepper jack steak burrito. Just one taste of the premium grilled steak and new pepper jack sauce, and that kind of lux might go to your head. And for just $3, how could it not? But even as you're enjoying the tender premium steak and cheesy opulence, try not to ask the waiter for a steak knife. Experience the Lutz Value Menu with 10 items, each just $3 or less. Only at Taco Bell. Limited time at participating stores while supplies last. Prices vary. Tax extra.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Presented by Sharp Equipment. They are your true one-stop shop. If you need a custom fabricated hydraulic hose, a hydraulic element rebuilt or replaced, everyday job site supplies, or an expert technician dispatched directly to your site for heavy repairs, they're here for you. Need a replacement right now? Their flexible rentals even include a standard attachment at no extra cost. Plus, they provide elite sales and service for top-tier brands like Wacker Neuson, Ola, Cinnabog, FAE, and many more at Sharp Equipment in Van Buren.
Before kickoff, get your game plan ready at True Grit Running Company. Whether you're calling the Hogs in Fayetteville or cheering from the River Valley, your feet deserve the best. Get expertly fitted for running shoes, walking shoes, and recovery sandals that'll keep you comfortable all season long. Visit True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Better running, better walking, and woo, pig suey.
Save up to $4,000 on in-stock 2026 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off on this top-selling midsize SUV, or $2,000 off and 0% financing for 60 months on 2026 Buick Envisions. These are limited-time offers with approved credit. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
Good morning. This is your Hardee's 2 for $5 breakfast mix and match along.
We've got fluffy eggs and sausage on a made-from-scratch biscuit ready, or perhaps biscuit and gravy. Ooh, maybe a sweet cinnamon roll. Wake up and smell that sweet deal. Mix and match any 2 for just $5 for a limited time, only at Hardee's. Don't snooze on the app. Snag juicy deals, order ahead, and get to work on time. Maybe. Exclusive app offers for registered My Rewards members only. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, best chance of showers and thunderstorms will be early. We'll see a little clearing in the afternoon, mid-80s north, low 90s south. We will be in and out of the clouds tonight, upper 60s, and then an increase in the sunshine, highs in the low 90s north, upper 90s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
This weather information is brought to you by The Solid Rock,
your source for inspirational gifts, home decor, women's boutique items, personalized Bibles, and more.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 12 days. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light.
Can't drink all day unless you start early.
Celebrate America's 250th anniversary with an ice-cold Bud Light.
KJ off play action, rolling, looking. Now he's going to have to get rid of the football. Instead, he'll run inside the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Arkansas. KJ Jackson just kept the play alive. Runs it in from 12 yards out.
The battle definitely made me a better player. At the end of the day, I had to, show up and come to work because all the quarterbacks in the room are great players. So I think it was truly just competing every day and, being able to bounce back from days that you might have thought you lost today. So you just got to bounce back for those type of days. And I think that's something I'm going to keep in my mind going into the season. I just got on the phone with mom and dad. Those are the people I reached out to. They've been with me, the whole time. And, it's just, a milestone along the way. I still just want to be the best player I can for the guys in the locker room and win games in the fall.
Live from the Bud Light Studios, produced by Kristen Johnston with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft. This is the Morning Rush.
It's hour number 2 of the Morning Rush here on a Hot Take Monday. KJ Jackson named yesterday as the Arkansas starter prior to Ryan Silverfield's media tour across the state this week. You got Little Rock today. You've got Ryan Silverfield's show on Wednesday, and then the Hogs Illustrated Sports Club on Thursday. I also kind of thought about that during the last hour. It's like he knew he was going to get questions fielded about this job. Maybe he could have deflected. Maybe he could have pushed it off to the depth chart this next week. But now we know about 12 days out prior to this game against North Alabama.
Do you have any aluminum foil over there? Can I make a tinfoil hat real quick?
Go ahead.
Let me be a conspiracy theorist here. Hunter Yurachek made him announce KJ as the starter so they could bury the baseball reseating plan.
Oh.
That'd be a good one this afternoon for the guys to delve into, right? If you believe in helicopters flying around and tinfoil hat theories, that could be one you could float out there. I don't think that's what happened, but see where someone would draw that conclusion.
Here is what he said yesterday in his press conference on what it came down to between KJ Jackson and A.J. Hill.
I think what ultimately we decided was, they both looked really good on base downs, right? They both were doing really good things in Skelly and being able to lead the offense in different situations. But ultimately, it came down to the actual situational football. And I believe a quarterback, in order to have success, has to be really efficient in those things. You guys hear me quite often talking about 2-minute offense, 4-minute offense, the check plays, the different things that come up, right? Is it a 2-minute situation before half? Looking at the clock, putting us in the right situation, seeing the blitz checks. And A.J. did a great job with that. I just thought we thought KJ had the slight edge in that, and I think ultimately that's going to give us the best opportunity to have success moving forward.
Yeah, and he's talked about situational football for a few weeks. He said there was a coach's choice or whatever period in practice where he could put the ball in whatever time on the clock, whatever situation they were in, down and distance, and he wanted, because he said that's what real football is about, and we got to find who can get the first down or who can get you into the end zone in these situations. So situational football is not anything new. He's spoken a lot about that here as of late. 10:03 on the Morning Rush. We're brought to you by Butler Furniture and Mountain Home. It's their pre-Labor Day sale going on right now. Butler's marked down furniture throughout the entire showroom, and they've got a big showroom giving you a chance to save on some of the biggest brand names in all of furniture. Lazy Boy, Flex Steel, Bassett, Ashley, Sealy Posturepedic, and many more. So whether you're furnishing the entire house or replacing it just one piece at a time, now is the time to buy. Hey, don't wait. Butler's pre-Labor Day sale ends Saturday, September the 5th. Butler Furniture, Highway 5 North and Mountain Home, just past Hospital Drive. And remember, it's always better at Butler's.
I went back. You've heard me reference Arkansas injuries to starting quarterbacks, and I wanted to see actually how far it goes all the way back to 2016. The last time that a starting Razorback quarterback was able to play an entire season, not come out down other than just blown out was Brandon Allen back in 2015, New York Giant. Austin Allen got injured both years when he was here as a starting quarterback. Ty Storey had a concussion in 2018. Yeah, Nick Starkel, it was sustained an injury in 19. Felipe was out. You remember the Missouri game we were watching in 2020? And you look at me, it's like, oh, this is not going to go well. KJ ended up playing out of his mind. We still lost, but Felipe did not play despite going through warm-ups in that.
They flew him, remember, they worked on him in Fayetteville, then flew him up on a private plane to Columbia.
21, you had KJ going down in the A&M game. Malik Hornsby comes in, and you're just holding on for dear life, being up 20-10. You had a late pick from Monteric Brown. So you had that. 22, that was the year that KJ was dealing with injuries. They played, I think, Hornsby.
KJ Jefferson.
Yeah. He played through the Liberty game, and then he also, he didn't play the LSU and Mississippi State. Cade Forden came in. 23, he had an injury to KJ. 24, remember Taylor Green went out against Tennessee, and Malachi Singleton led them down with Braylon Russell, and they ended up winning that game. And then last year,
going into the south end zone, won the game.
Yeah. And then last year, Taylor had I forget which injury. I think it was A&M and Mississippi State. So again, that's a decade plus. The reason I bring that up is
there was one year out of that you didn't have.
No. Every year since 2016, you have had an injury where the quarterback has gone out for at least a series or a game.
So it was 15 the last year? You mentioned Brandon Allen. But even that year, didn't he get cleated? I remember that on the home sideline, and he had to go get staples during the game and came back. He was tough as a boot.
I think that was the Ole Miss game in 2014 that you're thinking
I just remember him getting cleated near the home sideline. They took him into the training room, and they stapled him up, and then I don't think he missed any time.
And, again, I'm pointing that out because – and I know that Ryan Silverfield has said repeatedly, whoever the backup is has to be ready. That's a decade plus of history of you having to be ready. And I know everyone remembers what happened in 2010 when Fairley banged Ryan's head to the ground at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Tyler comes in and plays out of his mind for basically 3.5 quarters. I mean, there is not just past precedent. It's year after year after year after year, situation after situation after situation. So I hope
the QB battle was really that close for what the reasons you're saying, Ty.
Well, and to that point, you just hope that KJ Hill doesn't take this as a personal or slight. You hope that he is ready to play. Obviously, contributing in any way, shape, or can as the backup quarterback. But based on what I just laid out, he's probably going to play this fall. Unfortunately, I doubt that we have I doubt we have a season like 2015, and I don't wish any ill will towards KJ Jackson. But I think the odds.
You just went over the facts of the last 10 years.
Yes,
these aren't your opinions that quarterbacks got injured. These are factual information that, hey, the backup quarterback has had to come in and play a significant role or in a significant moment each of the last 10 years. I think that sums up what you're saying.
Yes.
So no reason to believe that streak is going to end this year.
Nope.
So A.J. Hill better be ready to play because the odds are greatly in favor of him being called upon at some point this year to play A&A in what would be a significant moment.
Yeah. There are quarterback battles still ongoing in the Southeastern Conference, so don't think the Razorbacks and what Ryan Silverfield is dealing with is the only one. Kalen DeBoer and Alabama just named Keelan Russell the starting QB for them over Austin Mack this weekend, similar to Ryan Silverfield naming KJ Jackson the starter. You still got battles in Gainesville, Florida, Knoxville, Tennessee, I think to a certain degree, Nashville, Tennessee with Vanderbilt. There's plenty of them that are shored up. Levitt's the QB for LSU. Trinidad Chambliss is the quarterback for Ole Miss. There's plenty of ones that no question about who the QB is. But there are still battles, again, that have not been completed about 2 weeks out from the opening slate of college football.
Well, the only thing surprising about this is not that KJ was named the starter over A.J. Hill, just maybe it's a week earlier than we expected. That's the only thing about this. Again, it was done to cover up the conversation of the baseball reseating, but that's a whole other thing.
He's saying that jokingly.
But it doesn't go completely against everything Ryan Silverfield was saying. But remember the press conference a couple of weeks ago, and all he wanted to speak. Well, we make all these other opponents prepare for two quarterbacks. They got to go out and find film, and they got to get ready for two.
Baloney.
Is that all just coach speak now? I mean, because I thought the whole reason to wait, the whole reason to hold off was for that. Well, why announce now? But again, careful what you say. Sometimes your words get held against you.
Well, you've got some film of KJ last year. Christian put together an open. He had the start against Missouri where they kind of flip-flop between him and Talon. Caden for late-game action against the Texas Longhorns.
A-State, he came in.
Yes, and so you've seen a little bit of it, not a ton. We've seen some stuff in the offseason. Seems like Chris Marshall is becoming a favorite target of his. I know C.J. Brown also had a touchdown in the scrimmage under the lights on Saturday to get ready for their game against the Utah Utes coming up the second week of the season. There is some more familiarity with KJ Jackson being that he's been here the last couple of years. I think the question I have is, like, KJ's obviously waited his turn. He stayed put, got here from Montgomery, Alabama, hasn't left. Did you learn anything from watching Talon, AJ? Like, did you learn how, not from an explosive standpoint, and I know there's leadership qualities, but this is like when it talks about being explosive, it's also talking about being efficient too.
I think the big thing for us in the quarterback room, what we talk about all the time, is being efficiently explosive. So, not forcing those plays, making your reads, and when the big plays come, connecting on them and not having any missed opportunity for explosive plays. I think that's the biggest thing.
You've watched a kid here the last 2 years that had all the tools, 6'6", 6'7", 4'5", 4'4", whatever he ended up running in the 40, and could change the game. And we saw him make plays that you were just like, wow, reminiscent of our teammate Matt Jones. And then you saw other things that made you scratch your head or bang it up against the wall or want to claw your eyes out. Like, what were you thinking? You don't have to, like, KJ doesn't have the same abilities that Talon has as a quarterback. But that doesn't mean he can't be a better quarterback than Talon Green. And again, one of the key elements that you just heard there is being efficient. What does efficient mean? Well, it's not turning the ball over. Did he learn anything, albeit in a new offense and a new head coach and a new OC? Did you learn what not to do at times from your predecessor in Talon Green? That's what I want to find out this fall.
Yeah, and it's about decision making. You're talking about the mental game is really what you're hitting on there is, do you know when to throw it away in a critical second down situation or a critical third down situation? Trying to make the hero play doesn't always work out. Putting your body at risk, trying to get to the sideline. Sometimes late in the game, you got to do whatever you got to do to get a first down. Sometimes in the second quarter, you punt and you live to play another day. So, those are the things you're talking about, the intangibles, the X factor, if you will. But, as far as the timing of this and when it's announced, my guess is Ryan Silverfield felt like this is what his team needed. His team needed to be called up for an end-of-practice huddle there, and that news delivered. However he went about doing it. But there was a good reason why he felt like his team probably needed this message at this point in camp. Mm-hmm. And part of it's probably to develop and to establish KJ Jackson as a leader and a voice on this team. Captains will be announced soon. Sometime in the next week or 10 days, right? We're going to find out who the captains for the team are.
Yes.
Generally, your quarterback is one of those. And your quarterback needs to be put on a little bit of a pedestal amongst his teammates in order to be one of those real leaders. So there's probably some of all of that going into the timing of when all this was given to the public.
I'm getting what's six usually the number, right? 3 offense, 3 defense, sometimes some special teams.
Yeah.
Is that a guess? Kittler, Smith, Jackson on offense, Shaw, Rhodes, Johnson on defense. If you had to ballpark who it's going to be in the coming days, who's going to get named captain,
House, maybe.
House could be another one. He's apparently had a really good camp. He had a pick 6 in the scrimmage Saturday night. That's a pretty good idea of who could be your captains this upcoming season. I think it's also like, and you heard him talk about like just the excitement level of getting to tell his parents.
No, I just got on the phone with mom and dad. Those are the people I reached out to. I mean, they've been with me, the whole time. And, that's just, a milestone along the way. I still just want to be the best player I can for the guys in the locker room and win games in the fall.
Redshirt sophomore, entering his 3rd season at Fayetteville, has again started 1 game. But, I mean, do you really call the Missouri game a start considering how little he played in the second half? and how little he played relative to what a usually starting quarterback plays in that football game. Kid hadn't started since high school, if you nix that. So the excitement level of knowing you're heading into this season as the guy, as what, the fourth or fifth most popular person in the state?
Well,
DVH or notable?
Okay, I mean, but go ahead.
Okay, you obviously don't like that. So go ahead.
No, I mean that's fine. I just don't know that's not. I don't think that's pertinent to the discussion. I mean, you know who's the most popular person in the state? A winning quarterback in Arkansas. Just because you're the starting quarterback, you may be noted. That doesn't mean you're liked.
Okay, notable. That's probably a better way to look at it.
Just because there's some quarterbacks over that 10 years you said aren't exactly what I call household names anymore. But we remember Ryan Mallett. We remember Tyler Wilson. Why do we remember those guys? Because they were winners. We championed Clint Sterner. We championed Matt Jones because they won big games in big moments. We're thirsty for a quarterback that we can put somewhere at that same dinner table. Has anyone even approached? Brandon Allen would be another one you could maybe put at the same dinner table. But with Matt and Clint and Ryan and Tyler, I mean, no one's even approached that really in the last 10 years.
I would say KJ in 21, but what happened in 23 really kind of unfortunately undermined his legacy at Arkansas.
Yeah, you can't erase that. Yeah, you can't erase that. Hey, I'm looking here on the Bet Saracen app. Betting lines for the first 3 games of the season are out with Bet Saracen. Have you seen these?
I have not. Can I guess?
You haven't seen it?
Yes, I haven't.
Swear on the Bible.
I promise.
All right.
I haven't. I'm going to guess Arkansas is like a high 30s, early 40s for North Alabama.
34.
They are
34, you say?
Like a
9. Well, let's just talk about this North Alabama game. You say 34.
At 42.
41's the line. Clearly he lied.
Utah, you're probably like a 12-point dog.
8.5.
Okay. Georgia, 10-point dog at home.
16.5.
Oh, wow.
Over-under on game 1, 62.5. You're favored 41.
I think they played.
Those are the early lines right now. The first 3 games are out. Bet Saracen. Download the app now.
I don't know if this Big C, double check on this. I think North Alabama plays the week before they play you.
Samford?
I feel like that I heard someone say that or I read that somewhere that they play. And I don't know if that helps or hurts them prior to them playing the Razorbacks. I would love to Arkansas to be playing week 0 so you could get a double bye like we'll have this next season. But I feel like that's a thing. No more. We don't get a chance to really hear. I say that. You have Silverfield, Little Rock today. He's on his coach's show, which will be here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com come Wednesday. He's at the Hogs Illustrated Sports Club on Thursday. Players, you get a chance to hear from them this week. And then obviously the media sessions will go back to what they usually during the season.
They play Samford this weekend.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Don't really. I mean, you'll have the occasional highlights and stuff that posted, and what the players talk about, but there's not a lot of stuff you're going to hear about really in the coming days about practice like you have been. Like we've had a steady dose of it since the beginning of August for 3.5 weeks.
Yeah.
And now I'm not going to say it's radio silent because that's not true, but it's definitely going to be condensed to what it's been these last 3 weeks.
There's really only one more press conference before the first game with Ryan Silverfield. Now, you mentioned some media opportunities, but press conference next Monday leading up to game 1. All the camp press conferences with the head coach are done. I think we have one more round with Cramsey and Roberts, your coordinators. But I think
this week?
I got to look at the schedule. I know they had two apiece.
I think it's just players this week. Unless
maybe next week. Then
Okay.
I remember on the schedule you got to see the coordinators twice, the head coach 4 times.
Okay.
We've talked to him 3 times now. So no more scrimmages to go through. They'll have their mock game and some stuff, but I mean, we're 12 days away.
Mm-hmm.
We're running out of time for talking. Talking's about over. So it's time to go play here pretty soon.
Well, it's not just about the quarterback here in Fayetteville. I know one of the questions we've had to this point is, hey, what are some other battles out there that haven't been decided, or maybe some ones that have been decided thus far? And here's what Coach Silverfield talked about some of these ones, including Chris Marshall, that have stood out.
There's been some guys that probably know, hey, I'm probably starting here. Like right now, I feel comfortable saying like Chris Marshall's probably going to start first at wide receiver. We feel Sutton Smith, if he's healthy, right, him and Braylon Russell are going to share the lion's share of the running back carries now. Who goes out there, play one, right? Well, if Sutton's our starting punt returner or kickoff returner, those things go into it. We're still looking at some of the other wide receiver positions. I think we're solidified at the offensive line. Some of the defensive linemen are rotating more so. We have some starters that need to get in gear or they won't start game one, and that's okay.
I think one of the things I'm wondering about is like the CC and Hawkins battle. Hawkins played at Memphis last year. They're battling out for the slot wide receiver. I think Brown's going to hold over the other one with you've got Chris Marshall, who he alluded to. But that's a position. Hawkins had a reverse touchdown in the scrimmage on Saturday night. He's your explosive playmaker, the guy that can take a jet sweep or run a little screen to the house. I'm curious, but CC missed all of last season. Has apparently been one of the tightest battles, it seems like, in camp. I want to see if it ends up being kind of a shared workload at slot like he's talked about with Sutton Smith and Braylon Russell.
And, I still think there's room for all these guys. They all bring something a little different, You mentioned Sutton Smith. How much do we throw to the backs out of the backfield? How good of pass protectors are your running backs? I mean, they're never going to come out and say, our guys can't pick the blitz up. Bradley Shaw's been killing them when we had one-on-ones. They're not going to come out and say that.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to know really till week 2. Can these guys pick up protection for the quarterback? And how much can you went through all the injuries. How comfortable are you leaving KJ back there? How good is he really at scrambling? How good can he throw on the run? All those are things we've still got to answer that are basic to football, right? Because if you let an edge come through there and just clock your quarterback because the running back just didn't see it, you got a problem. So it's not just how good are they on first down running the ball for 4 or 5 yards. It's all these other little things that are big things in the end that are going to be the difference in winning and losing.
Yeah, if the quarterback didn't call the right blitz protection or if the lineman missed the block. I mean, there's so many scenarios, and you don't want to ever tell a QB to play safe, but there is something you want him to play smart. And I'm not just talking about with the football, but also putting yourself in a situation. If it's a 3rd and 3 and you're running, scrambling, diving, but don't take on a linebacker if it's a throwaway down or something like that. Because you don't want to be in a situation where you're having to use the backup. But based on prior history, as you alluded to, I bring it up earlier, it's bound to happen at some point in time.
All right, it's 10:22 here on the Morning Rush. You work hard for your time off, so make it count, whether it's land, a home, or just your own place that you like to go and get away. Farm Credit of Western Arkansas offers financing options designed for your lifestyle. Visit myaglender.com, that's myaglender.com, or stop by one of their 25 locations and let their team help you turn your plans into reality.
All right, when we come back, SEC update, got Todd Monken's thoughts, who lost a player, not to another NFL franchise, but to LSU and Lane Kiffin. Hear from that, some college game day setups for the first couple weeks of the season, and more. Stay with us. Hot Take Monday rolls on next.
It's the summer event takeover at Lewis Automotive with sizzling deals and endless adventures. Lewis Automotive, serving Northwest.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit, is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
We've got big news from Roback. This entire week, Roback is launching its brand new collegiate collection, just in time for the fall season. And if you're an Arkansas fan, you're in luck. The Arkansas collection officially dropped, and there's plenty of inventory available. So whether you're headed to the stadium, watching from home, or just looking to upgrade your game day gear, now's the time to check out Roback's new Arkansas Collegiate Collection. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they love the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
Got one question for you. What are those?
It's cute. I wish I could get it, but...
Hey, how much you pay for that taco?
Hey, yo, you know this, boy. He's got his free taco.
Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Want to kick off the football season with a bet that feels like a lock? The MyBookie lock of the season is back. With the Patriots in Seattle for the NFL kickoff, the question is simple. Will the Seahawks raise their championship banner that night? Of course they will. They're the defending champs. It's their home opener, and you're getting plus money odds just to say yes. Get in before kickoff, sign up at MyBookie, use promo code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and start your season with a win. MyBookie. Bet on anything, anytime, anywhere.
Got a little jingle.
Place 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight.
We're about the toughest there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
But this afternoon is a day for the Razorbacks to celebrate. Arkansas wins the tournament.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
Man, crazy. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I mean, as far as I know, he's had a medical issue that wasn't allowing him to practice. That's a medical issue. It's nothing to do with me, you know, and then he was cleared, so we dressed him just in case we had to have him. I wondered why Lane Kiffin reached out a week ago. Now I know.
That is Cleveland Browns head coach Todd Monken talking about Daquan Wright, who played at Ole Miss. The Browns have waived him, and then he's cleared waivers. And if it happens like that, there's an agreement in place for him to play for LSU, according to Drew Rosenhaus and Kyle Lincoln, his agents, via Adam Schefter.
Never thought I'd be old enough to see something like this happen.
Pretty crazy.
You're going to go from an NFL camp and an NFL roster to the LSU Tigers.
Yep. Dan Lanning,
unbelievable.
Oregon head coach, had some thoughts on this.
I think there's a lot of negatives that are involved around this. One, once you go to the NFL, to me, you're in the NFL. You don't get the opportunity to come back. Two, you know, most of us have built our rosters, and you have a limited roster limit now. So if you invited somebody back to your team, that means you're kicking somebody else off your team, right, to match your roster limits. I don't think that's fair to the players that worked all summer, all spring, and put themselves in position to be ready to work for a team, you know, to have somebody come back. But ultimately, you know, it used to be once you had an agent or once you went and did the combine or
once you went to mini, I mean, all those things qualified as you were no longer an amateur, you're a professional now once you declared for the draft. So to let any of those players come back, fair or unfair to them, it's unfair to the sport.
That's, again, Dan Lanning talking about don't see a lot of holes in what he's saying there.
No, because the music's going to stop. There's going to be more people than there are chairs, and somebody's going to be out. And it's completely and totally, because where are they going to go at that point?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wonder.
Do you think Lane Kiffin really cares about that?
No.
No, not at all.
I'm curious when we talk with Tom Murphy tomorrow, the eligibility parts of Caleb Wooden and Sean Williams, who are the two Arkansas auditions, what that looks like for their upcoming season. We'll get his thoughts tomorrow at 10 a.m.
What happened to this report that we had last week that there had been a reversal on this decision?
Well, so you have like the overall 22, and then there's TR. It's like splicing out into different things. Again, I don't want to go through this again. Business law was hard enough, but then they like section it off to different things. It's confusing for everybody, and that's kind of a blanket statement on that.
But this should be, I mean, who knows? Can't ever say anything. There's no absolutes. But this should be the one and only time a situation similar to this can happen, right?
I don't know what I've seen happen.
I mean, we're not going to contend. I mean, the 22s would be the last disenfranchised group of athletes that came through, right?
I don't know. There's a lot of things.
Who knows? I mean, you can't. You start talking in absolutes, you'll make a fool of yourself. But it seems like, all right, where else we could scurry to find guys deserve or have been, irreparably harmed by not getting this extra year. I don't know how this could happen again, honestly.
All right, last couple things here in your SEC update. College game day, we knew was going to be in Baton Rouge for week 1 when they host the Clemson Tigers. University of Texas when they host Ohio State week 2. And they officially confirmed Ole Miss week 3 when they host Lane Kiffin and LSU. Knew this was going to happen, but they put pen to paper on this. Last thing, Mark Mitchell, the Missouri standout and former Duke Blue Devil, who Arkansas went up against last year, really good college basketball player. Came back, got the eligibility, and is now committed to Kentucky. So Mark Pope has got another good addition. That's going to be a tough game in Rupp later on this upcoming season, and he's a kid that a lot of college basketball coaches would love to have on their roster.
All right, that is our SEC updates brought to you by the Brad Hendricks Law Firm. They're pure Arkansas. They live here. They work here. They know the court system here, and they can help you with so much more these days than these out-of-state lawyers you see on TV, you hear on radio, you see them on the internet. They're not even here. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm is right here, helping Arkansans statewide with personal injury law from car wrecks and big truck wrecks, also helping Arkansans with bankruptcy, medical malpractice, and Social Security claims as well. They bring tradition, reputation, and most importantly, they bring results. Call the Brad Hendricks Law Firm, 501-910-1010. 501-910-1010 for the Brad Hendricks Law Firm.
All right, let's go to Idaho. Welcome in Bab, who's called in this morning. Had some thoughts on some Razorback stuff. Bab, go ahead. You're on the Morning Rush here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline.
Hey, what's up? Is Ty there?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. Are you on the air? It's so awesome to hear you.
Yeah, it's good to hear you, too.
All right, I'll contribute to the conversation. I missed the first part of the show, but what about, I'm looking at the SEC over-unders, and I'm loving the Razorbacks this year, and I think that I want to fade the Gators. How do you feel down there these days?
4.5. You're at 5. Big C, where are you at? I'm at 4. Big C, where are you at?
5.
5. Okay, so we got 2 guys on the show that thinks they're going to surpass the over-under. I think they're going under. Hope I'm wrong.
What? So do we got the Gators on the schedule?
No. Florida, luckily, I say luckily, this actually might be a fun year to play them. But no, Florida is not on the schedule this year.
They got Auburn in like the second week or something, right? So they're going to be all got their panties in a bunch after they win that game, and then I think that's time to fade them. That's what I'm thinking. What you guys concur at least a little bit?
Yeah, that week 3 game in Jordan-Hare is going to be interesting for John Summerall and Alex Golish. I think that's going to be a real battle back and forth. And I mean, you got 2 American coaches, kind of like Ryan Silverfield, and that's going to be a huge win for them to start their season if either of them take it.
So we're going to make a trek down from North Idaho to your neck of the woods. We want to cheer on the Razorbacks. I bet your listeners probably find this boring, but what's like one or two great tips for us?
What would you say, Tyler? Bab, appreciate the call, buddy.
If you're coming in the fall, I think first of all, if you're coming for a game, eat at Herman's would be one thing you could do.
Yes.
I mean, we got some great barbecue. We got some great steaks. We can take you a lot of places.
Still waiting on Nick to text me, hey, we're opening up this week.
If you got 3 or 4 places or 3 or 4 days, I mean, I think just seeing a lot of the Ozarks would be one thing.
So,
I would go to Crystal
Boston
Bridges. I would go to Crystal Bridges and see that because that's world class. So that'd be one thing I'd absolutely do. I'd eat 2 or 3 great meals in Northwest Arkansas. What else would you do? Depending on the time of the year that you're coming.
Yeah. So backstory, Bab is a guy that we played with a couple weeks ago at his country club in Idaho at Hayden Lake. His sister lives in Northwest Arkansas, moved down like a month ago, and him and his wife are gonna, I think, make a trek, as he was alluding to at some point in time. Great guy. That was again the first time I've ever had a chance to see that part of the country, and I know he's excited.
Well, Bab, I want to come see your part of the world.
Yes, it's incredible.
I'll switch with you. You come here, I'll go there.
He's got a really cool setup where he's at in Hayden Lake and the Coeur d'Alene area and everything out there.
That's just right on the line, isn't it? Washington, Idaho line.
Yeah, it's right because again, Spokane's like 45 minutes from where we were staying. Again, that we were talking about. You've got a Montana trip.
I got
queued up in 2 weeks and
next week.
There's or next week I should say. There's just so many parts of the country that I still haven't been to that I would like to get to at some point. I know there are some Razorback fans that are making the trek. We were talking about nonstop flights. XNA to Salt Lake is one. You'll have an opportunity if you so choose and can afford to do so to go watch these guys playing Salt Lake City against Utah.
Yeah, I know Alyssa's going out for that game, so I wish I could make that trip. That would be a fun one as well. You know, Labor Day's coming up. We're just 2 weeks from today till Labor Day is here. That's hard to believe. Last holiday of the summer. What are your plans? Pool parties, lake trips, golf trips, football, tailgating, maybe a trip to that last minute spot, that fishing hole or whatever. Whatever it is, the Labor Day weekend has become a traditional time for family and friends to get together for fun. But sadly, it's also one of the deadliest times on Arkansas highways and byways with drunk drivers endangering themselves and others. We all know it's illegal to drive with a blood alcohol level of 0.08 or higher. If you do, you're going to pay the court costs, you're going to lose your license, you're going to go to jail, plus attorney's fees. Then you're going to have to get an ignition interlock, which means you got to blow into a tube to make sure there's no alcohol in your system just to start your car, and you get to pay for that as well. None of that sounds like fun. So, before you make your plans for the Labor Day weekend that's coming up, enjoy the holiday, but think before you drink. Drive sober or get pulled over. This message brought to you by the Arkansas State Police.
We were talking about the baseball reseeding earlier. I want to come
One
back
other
to
thing. Hey, I'm sorry. Let me interrupt. Bab, if you're coming over, we got to get you to Gaston's too. Talking about things you got to experience. Trout fishing in Arkansas, because I know there's some good stuff in Idaho, Montana, that area. But you got to try out the trout fishing here. That'd be the other thing you got to put on the list that you got to do.
Got to do it. Back to baseball reseeding. A comprehensive reseeding prior to this upcoming year. You've had one recently in both football and basketball. Been about 5 years since you did it last time in baseball. There was an interesting statistic that Matt Jones of Hawk Sports came up with. So in 2019, prior to the reseeding, you had basically a 52% attendance rating. This past year, you had 47.9. So you're seeing a downtick, and I know there's been additional seats and other stuff, but you're already seeing a downtick already of fans that are, or corporations, however you want to frame it up, that are buying tickets but not actually going. And I wonder, with this upcoming cycle, do you see another, what is that, a 4% decrease? Do you see another decrease for this upcoming baseball season? Does it continually go the other way? Because just because you buy the tickets, as we well know, doesn't mean you have to attend. Curious to see what kind of impact it has at Baum-Walker Stadium this next baseball season.
Speaking of tickets and things you might want to go to, do we have any breaking news sounders?
I'm sure we do.
Got one at the ready? All right. Here's the news just announced by the Little Rock Touchdown Club on Facebook. Monday, October 12th. We've been wondering who their mystery speakers were
I've
going
not
to be.
seen this yet.
Bill Clinton, President of the United States.
Wow.
And Dallas Cowboy owner Jerry Jones, together at Simmons Bank
Wow.
Arena. Program's at 11:30. You can get your tickets now. But I mentioned Jerry's name, and who would be big enough that you move that over? And it's not just Jerry; it's Bill and Jerry. So that ought to be a fun one that day. But that's the breaking news this morning that we were wondering who that mystery speaker was going to be. Well, it's speakers. It's former President Bill Clinton and Cowboys owner Jerry Jones.
How about them Cowboys?
There you go.
That'd
be a fun day.
That's pretty nuts. And say the date one more time.
October 12th.
Okay. I was off. I was thinking like Joe Montana or Tom Brady.
That's bigger than Joe Montana or Tom Brady. That's bigger.
Ryan Silverfield's going to be talking here in about hour or so, give or take. He's got his media stuff this week. Yeah, but that's when's the last time Bill Clinton's been back in Arkansas?
Oh, that was just a couple of weeks ago. I saw him something on. I mean, he's in and out from time, but I don't know.
I used to mow his library.
Used to what?
I used to mow his library. The Bill and Hillary Clinton Library downtown.
Oh, the presidential library? I don't think her name's on the presidential library. Well, she wasn't president. Talk about the trailer house down there?
Trailer house.
Well, it kind of looks like a trailer house up on the presidential library.
There's a golf. There's a putt up top. For those that don't know, we actually had to do that. We had to mow that as well with a specialty device. But yes, that was a time-consuming day when we would go down there and do that. Long day, a lot of bugs, a lot of.
I've been through that thing. You ever been inside that library?
Yeah.
I've spent a whole day there one time.
I would spend a whole day there.
I went exhibit to exhibit, read all the plaques, looked at everything, searched that place high and low. Never could find the blue dress. It was nowhere in there. Nowhere to be found.
There you go. There you go. I'm trying to think of that list who I would want to see the most. I don't have the touchdown club list in front of me, but that's a pretty big. So Simmons, Bud Walton, is it 19-2 or 19-8?
19-2.
Okay. How much does Simmons bank home? By the way, I should have gone to the Ella Langley concert there this weekend.
I didn't even know it was there. I'm embarrassed to say I didn't know.
Drake was there. We didn't go.
Yeah, I saw Drake flew in for it, but I think it's around 18.
How many people do you think will be there for that? And I know they have
10,000,
section stuff
12,000.
off because of.
It's a Monday. It's lunch. Yeah. They'll have sponsors on the floor. You'll be able to probably buy and read the whole thing, but a GA ticket where you can just sit in the stands. Probably don't get fed, but get to hear them. It'll be set up probably similar to a concert where it's not the whole arena won't be open.
Will he have the hog hat on?
Bill?
Mm-hmm.
I hope so at some point. I hope Nolan can get down there for it.
That was my other question. Will
That'd be
Coach
great.
Richardson head down there for that, for the reunion of sorts?
Someone fly him down there for that, get him over there. That'd be really cool. So, hey, we were talking a minute ago about your buddy in Idaho fishing, and the Gaston's would be the spot. If you're coming in, you just need to go. Right to Gaston's would be one place if you're going to be here 3 or 4 days. Bab, Gaston's White River Resort is the place to go. Best trout fishing in North America. I know y'all think you got great fishing up there. We got great trout fishing here in Arkansas. And the White River is one of the premier streams in all of North America for big browns, big German browns, and big rainbows. And if you'd like to catch some, that'd be the place to go. You can do that too. And fall's a great time. Weather's great. Fishery's not under as much pressure. And a lot of people really enjoy October and November are great months to be on the White River. Why not call Gaston's now and book your reservation? 870-431-5202 is the number. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time. Every time.
It's the summer event takeover at Lewis Automotive with sizzling deals and endless adventures. Lewis Automotive, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years and home of the Lewis Guarantee.
At United Federal Credit Union, our checking accounts meet you where you are. Free checking gives you everything you need with no strings attached. Safe Spend lets you set debit card limits for the whole family. And Ultra Checking rewards higher balances. Plus, our digital banking and mobile app let you manage it all in one place. Visit unitedfcu.com/checking to get started. United Federal Credit Union, we get you. Insured by NCUA. Membership subject to eligibility. Free checking with e-documents. A $2.50 fee applies for each paper statement if you are not enrolled in e-documents.
It's peak grilling season, and nothing hits the flame quite like beef. From Hardee steaks to crowd-pleasing burgers, the rich flavor and perfect sizzle make every cookout worth gathering for. So fire up the grill, bring on the heat, and serve the taste that defines summer. Beef, it's what's for dinner. Funded by beef farmers and ranchers. Courtesy of Beef, it's what'sfordinner.com.
Winning football teams have a playbook. Winning businesses? They've got Robert Half. Because when your star player's out or the workload blitzes, you need the right move fast. That's where Robert Half's specialized recruiters, together with their award-winning AI technology, step in, matching companies with skilled contract talent across finance, tech, legal, and more. It's depth on your bench. It's keeping the drive alive. Visit roberthalf.com/talent. At Robert Half, we know talent.
The two guys that Arkansas added up front are going to make a major impact for this team.
This is the Morning Rush.
Good morning. This is your Hardee's 2 for $5 breakfast mix and match along. We've got fluffy eggs and sausage on a made-from-scratch biscuit ready, or perhaps biscuit and gravy. Ooh, maybe a sweet cinnamon roll. Wake up and smell that sweet deal. Mix and match any two for just $5 for a limited time, only at Hardee's. Don't snooze on the app. Snag juicy deals, order ahead, and get to work on time. Maybe. Exclusive app offers for registered My Rewards members only. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Get state sales tax paid when you trade all this month at Rath Auto Resources. Just bring in your old car and make the switch to any one of our great road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles and get state sales tax paid when you trade. Our road-ready certified vehicles are inspected, reconditioned, and backed by comprehensive warranty. Combine that with our non-commissioned sales team and the nation's best lenders on standby, and you've got an award-winning, hassle-free way to get your next ride. Make the switch to road-ready certified and get state sales tax paid when you trade all this month at Rath Auto Resources. 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202 or learn more at Gastons.com. Gastons, a first-class time, every time.
Back to school season is here, and great internet is essential for today's students. Wave Rural Connect can help with affordable, reliable fiber internet and strong Wi-Fi for homework, streaming, and multiple devices all at once. Get our connected home plan for just $56.95 a month. If you need more speed for a current plan, call us to upgrade. Wave Rural Connect, fast fiber internet, friendly customer service from a local provider. Visit waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Ellie here is getting the sleeve she's always dreamed of. She worked with Empower and planned for her next move, so she got good at money. Now she can be a little bad. Oh, by the way, you spelled journey wrong. No worries. She can afford the cover-up, too. Ooh, check out my tat. It says, invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
It's the summer event takeover at Lewis Automotive with sizzling deals and endless adventures. Lewis Automotive, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years and home of the Lewis Guarantee.
The battle definitely made me a better player. At the end of the day, I had to, show up and come to work because AJ, all the quarterbacks in the room are great players. So I think it was truly just competing every day and, being able to bounce back from days that you might have thought you lost today. So you just got to bounce back for those type of days. And I think that's something I'm going to keep in my mind going into the season.
That's KJ Jackson yesterday after the announcement of him being named quarterback one for this upcoming season, starting off against North Alabama here in 12 days. The following week, he'll travel to Utah to take on Salt Lake City and then come back at home to take on the Georgia Bulldogs at 11 a.m. here in Fayetteville.
Well, and that's when we'll really kind of start getting a sense of what you got. And we always point this out. When you get through the Georgia game, you'll be 25% through your season. You think, well, it's early. Well, it's, 3 games in, you'll still be a fourth of the way through. So it's enough to form somewhat of an opinion on what you have or don't have, because you'll have an FCS opponent, you'll have a good non-con opponent, and you'll have maybe the best team in the conference that you're playing. So you got a high, middle, and low. I think you'll have a good reading on kind of where you're at through 3 games as well.
And I'm curious where Utah finishes the season. You remember how frustrating it was to watch Arkansas choke away the game in Stillwater, Oklahoma, being up, I think, 21-0 or 21-7. And then Oklahoma State, I think, only won like 3 games that season. You don't want that to happen to Utah. New coach, new setup there in Salt Lake City, consistent program you're going up against. But if you could pick these guys off in week number 2, that sure would change the dynamics of your season.
You got to get stronger as the season goes on, because the back half of the schedule is much more difficult than the front half of the schedule. So last 6 much more difficult than the last 6. So got to stay healthy, got to get stronger, got to get better timing, all those things as the year goes on. And we can talk about injuries to quarterbacks and is AJ going to play? And you brought some really good info this morning on that. But this may come down to, honestly, this year, can you keep 5, 6 good linemen healthy all year long? Can you keep your interior offensive line going? Can you keep your tackles upright? Because not having a bunch of injuries on that offensive line is going to be maybe the most critical thing.
It is crazy. Since 2016, I'm not going to go through every example, Arkansas has had a starting quarterback either miss a series or miss a game every single year.
And how much of that's tied back to an offensive line injury? I don't know that. But if you know football at all, you'll know that, hey, sometimes the most important person on the field is your right guard or your center. And we point to the guy, well, he's caught this many. He's ran for this much. He has this many touchdowns. Well, it's because that guy that's lined up there at guard made it happen, made it possible. And sometimes when that right guard goes down, the whole show is over. And, that's what you got to have this year. Whatever you think of the offensive line, those are the 5 or 6 best you're going to have up there this year. Got to keep those guys going.
The Bees. Got to keep the Bees healthy. Broussard, Breland, Branham, and then also Kittler and Thompson at right tackle, which is essentially KJ's blind side as a lefty quarterback. And we were joking earlier. I think I'd have to look this up, last lefty QB maybe had a starter since Barry Lunny.
Yep.
So since the 90s, pretty
mid-90s.
Pretty crazy to think about how long it's been. The arm which the guy throws is not important. What's important is that he can have a successful season. Hopefully KJ is able to do so. All right, that's going to do it for us here on this Hot Take Monday. For Tommy Kraft and Christian Johnson, I'm Ty Richardson. Coming up, Alyssa Orange, Matt Jones, Colton Little on halftime, followed by Ruskin and Zach. We're back tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man. 479-782-3936.
I mean, I don't even know what to say. I mean, as far as I know, he's at a
kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it.